In the vast, unforgiving wilds of Canada, where mountains rise like ancient guardians and winter comes with teeth, only the toughest endure. These are men, forged in solitude, shaped by storm and silence. They don't just survive the wilderness, they command it. This isn't a life of comfort, it's a life of purpose, danger, and unyielding resolve. These are the Canadian mountain men. In this episode, we cover forest fire defensive space creation, DeWALT 20-volt max pruner review, and land clearing.
Well, guess what? We made it through another winter. This one wasn't that bad, but with any winter, there's good things and bad things with it. Not a lot of snow this year up in this area, which is kind of bad because we need the water. But hopefully there's enough up top on the mountains. The idea this weekend is going to be clearing out a bunch of underbrush, kind of a combination of fire suppression, because you want to clear up about 6 feet from the ground, so that if a forest fire does kind of move through it, it tends to stay low and burn here. It doesn't get up in the canopies, which is where it gets bad. So last year I did a bunch. My buddy's son came up and he used a machete and cleared out a bunch of stuff. Didn't cut it all the way to the ground, but so we got some stuff that's maybe 3 feet, about his height, off the ground. But this weekend the plan was to kind of come in and clear some of that before it starts budding out. So this is basically the first week of April, and right now we don't have a lot of stuff blooming up here. It's a little delayed. It'll take probably another 2 or 3 weeks. The stuff I looked at already is starting to bud, so that'll come out really quick. So I want to get that stuff trimmed out, cleared out before we have to deal with all the extra leaves. Normally I use just a hand lopper for that, and it can be a little bit of a pain because some of the bushes I'll show you later, it's really kind of hard to get in there with loppers and it just becomes a mess. So DeWALT just came out with this new tool, which I'm in love with. It's this little trimmer here. Uses, in this case, the 20 volt, and I have plenty of those because I have all the DeWALT tools because this is off-grid up here. I do have a small little solar system that charges my Jackery, and so I can recharge if necessary. But the great thing about this tool is I play with it a little bit. I will set up and do a time lapse and show you as I clear out a bunch of the underbrush. But the safety, as others said, you basically flip this down, hold this, and then every time you do that, it'll do the cutting. A little light here, which is kind of nice. Definitely you want to keep your hands away from this when it's in action. So they recommend not having young adults use it for that reason, because you just have to kind of watch it. I mean, for me, I'm grabbing some of the stuff up here. I'm making sure to stay back away from it. But yeah, it's just like, because once you push it down, it goes. Now, I'm in Canada, of course. This in Canada seems to run Canadian dollars about 150. I was down in the States. I'm a dual citizen, so I had to go down there from stuff, and one of the stores down there had it for $90 USD. I still have US funds, so I just went ahead and bought it there because it actually, after you do the conversion and everything, it still was about $20 Canadian cheaper to buy it down there. But it, like I said, so far so good. The little bit of testing I've done. But it's all of this type of stuff here. This brush just needs to be cut out, cleared out. The idea is to lift your fire area up to where it's 6 feet or more, so that if you do get a fire through here, it hopefully doesn't go up high and get all ballistic-y. But yeah, it's a lot of just little crap. It doesn't look like much now, but later on when these leaf out, basically you can't see anything in here. So it makes it a little difficult to move around, and there are mountain lions in this area. I've got them on the cameras and just seen the tracks in the winter, so they're kind of want to just clear it out so it opens it up, so that hopefully if they're around, not much happens. Unfortunately, Mark couldn't make it up this trip. Had a fortunate back injury, so hopefully he'll not be sidelined for the season. So what I did, put a brand new fresh charge 5 amp hour on this puppy. And like I said, it's so easy on stuff like this. You know, stuff like this here. Takes 3 times to get through it. That's maybe an inch on that. So that's not bad to cut through. I'll have to see how it does lower. But, you know, these type of branches here, you know, it's something that's really quick. And like I said, if I just kind of hold on with the one hand here, away from the blade, that gets that stuff easily collected. And then I just take it over to the brush pile and get rid of it. Okay, I'm gonna flip on the time lapse. And like I said, the idea is gonna clear this out.
After 50 minutes of work, the forest floor opened up to reveal a new, clearer environment. Still not perfect yet, but a great start to the fire prevention task. The clearing of a forest is an ongoing chore and will need constant care. But the hard work is worth it for peace of mind.
There's still a little bit more I want to clear out there, but for the most part, that opened it up quite a bit, at least kind of from the outhouse area over. And like I said, tomorrow I think I'll get up early and I'm going to try to open up the clearing a little bit more with this. Like I said, the goal is not necessarily to get it all stacked up and out of the way right now. I just want to get it done before everything starts leafing out. And like I said, when it leaves out, it just, gosh, there's just so much bulk that you have to deal with and stuff like that. So this is a lot easier to deal with. Should have put gloves on. I always have a bad habit of not doing that. So got some sap and a little bit of stuff, but it's not from the DeWALT. It works pretty good. One thing I do with some of that low brush is I've got a DeWALT hedge trimmer, and I'll just come in and do a low level cut on that and clear all that stuff out. So that's probably what I'll do to do the final finish. But this was really good. I mean, it left a few bigger ones, you know, stuff that gets into 2-inch diameters that you can't really, you know, deal with. That lopper just, you know, the trimmer just won't go through it. But I've got the DeWALT chainsaw, 20 volt. I just go out and just cut that stuff down. So any of those little stumps will get cleared out and it'll be all opened up. The ground is very uneven in there. I think there's probably what I've counted at least 4 or 5 old outhouse holes in that area. You know, this property here, I don't know when it was first, people were first living here. I think sometime in the 70s, I think is when it was subdivided up. But, you know, there was the people I had bought it from, family of 4 in the small cabin. And 2 of them, one, if not both of them, were born here in the cabin. So that's kind of interesting. And it's sometimes on certain nights, I swear I hear little kids playing. So that gets a little creepy.
Now moving on to the larger task, the re-clearing of the clearing.
Yep, this is the mess. Got to get all this cleared out. I think I'm going to start at the back and kind of work forward and then dump the brush back in the back. So probably end up showing you a afterwards on this. Yeah, looking from this side, it's pretty thick. So we're gonna kind of start trimming here. Figure out where to dump the brush. Maybe back over there somewhere. Just back away. That'll give us a lot of room here. More than enough to open up. So kind of clear all of this.
4 hours of sweat labor later, the job is done for the day.
All of it done with this little powerhouse, freaking whatever you want to call it. Yeah, all of that. And then that brush pile. Don't get the full scope of it, but it's probably 9-10 feet tall. And all of that was cut with this little guy. There's a little bit better view of it. Yeah, cleared all this out here. And it'll do what I need to do for now, which is hopefully, you know, just to be a little bit more stuff I'll have to clear. But I'm done. I'm toast. You know, all of this probably was almost 4 hours cutting it and everything. Got by with the one 5 amp hour battery. Cut most of the stuff that needed to get done. There's still some taller, thicker ones that I'll need to get the little chainsaw out and finish that off. Highly recommend it. Kind of want to give it a little bit of a real world. I was having a hard time finding a real world review of it. And I think this is definitely a real world review. Yeah, like I said, all of that was cut with the little DeWALT and one battery. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with the DeWALT. It just made things so much easier and so much faster. And, you know, do you need it? You know, possibly not. But if you're doing a bunch of clearing like this, and I mean, there's other things I could have gotten. Is you can buy like mechanical brush clearers that could have worked in through here, but it's just hauling it up the 50 kilometers up the dirt Forest Service road, 30 miles. It's just a little too much. So if you have little small things that you can just kind of do, it's more convenient, and just it's a nice little tool to add to the DeWALT family that I have. I'm not getting any promotional thing by talking about the DeWALTs, but up here in an off-grid area building, you know, I do have a Jenny, but for the most part, I just, you know, use the DeWALT tools for most everything. And the one nice thing, the other one that I love the most is the DeWALT vacuum. That's great for this place. The other thing is the DeWALT little air compressor. You can use it for your tires. What I tend to do is, also I found out I have some air tanks here, so I'll use that to air up, get some pressure in the air tanks, and then I can use one of the pneumatic air guns, you know, to nail stuff or brad some stuff. So that's handy. That way I don't have to hold a big compressor up here. But when I'm doing bigger projects, you know, I'll bring the compressor up and run the Jenny off of it. And but like I said, the DeWALT 20 volts, you know, basically is a lifesaver. You know, if you're going to invest in it and, you know, go full throttle. Okay, thanks guys. Bye-bye.
The Canadian Rocky Mountains stand as a testament to the raw power and breathtaking beauty of the natural world. This expansive mountain system, North America's largest, is renowned for its stunning vistas, which include spacious subalpine valleys and the rugged exposed rock faces of towering peaks. It's a challenging environment, but the beauty outweighs the hidden dangers.